Oh. Oh. Let's see who else we can get in here. I'm waiting on Phil. Sharing around some links to this currently. That's 32. StreamYard had like an update, and so it wasn't letting me get the link ahead of time, so I had to start the stream. So, what's up, Brad? Waiting on Phil. Old Phyllis. Syphilis. Let's see who else we can get in here. I don't know. It might just be me and Phil tonight. So he's running a few minutes behind. Which happens pretty much every week. I don't know what he's doing. Is the fan loud? Like, is the fan unbearable? Like trying to find one to buy or trying to find one like out in the desert. I'm smoking by Father Connecticut. They're very good. Drinking some coffee so I can wake up a little bit. Okay, good. Because the fan is kind of loud. I have a new lighter. It's pretty sweet. One of these Colibri. I don't even know what the manufacturer name was, but it's pretty cool because you slide up on it. Yeah, I didn't think you could. Which one are you looking at getting? Three, 8, 9, 8, 5, 9. Phil is trying to get in. The link is not working. What's up, Cox? Yeah, Phil would break StreamYard. Suspect them are cool. Hen dog. Oh, man. He's killing me.
Man. Oh.
He lives.
7 minutes it took me to get this thing going. Oh, my God. Look at the comments already. Yeah, I did break it, Cox. I did.
Hoyer coming along fine. Males in shed. No signs of anything female yet, but it's very early.
Hey, what's up, Brad? Oh, what a day. What a day, what a day.
Still got the shirt on and everything.
Oh, my God, I do. Jesus. Nothing to see here.
YouTube will take us down because of gun-related things.
Oh, okay. They only don't like it when gun-related things get money. So I'll show you what I was working on. I'm not quite in love with it yet, but it's a work in progress.
What are you smoking, more importantly?
I am smoking. I didn't even convert over to iCloud yet. Stupid Mac. I'm going with my Old Faithful, my favorite cigar of all time, the Liga Privada number 9. Yeah.
I got a new lighter.
Oh yeah.
You saw that in the group chat, but it looks like Darth Maul.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Carry it. You push up on it, which is cool.
Oh, look at that. It's very Sith of you.
And it has, you press this little button. It's got a punch on it.
Nice. Something you'll never use. But that is really cool. It is nice to have a really nice lighter. It is. Oh man, I haven't smoked a Liga in like almost 2 months because I wanted to savor them in times of COVID. So I've got probably about 1.5 boxes now. I never buy a whole box because I don't want to blow that much money all at once. But every time I go buy sticks, I make sure I buy at least 1 or 2 Coronas or Belicosos or Toros, my favorite. And so I probably got about 15 or 20 Toros and probably another 10 or 15 mixes. But I was going to do one of those Novas because that is slowly becoming my new favorite stick. But
really?
Nothing beats a Liga number 9. I know you're a 52 guy, but
well, I mean, yeah, it's kind of like me with the Roma stuff, man. It's at some point everything else is just battling for second. You know?
Yeah, you're right.
Like they'll never top Liga stuff, but they can be the runner-up.
Yeah. So today, Mondays. This is for me to vent for a hot second and to answer Brad's little comment. Mondays are always usually in my industry old man day. basically you've got the old man's been cooped up all weekend with his wife. She's nagging him. She's driving him crazy because that's what old people do to each other. So he's been flipping through gun magazines, like actual magazines, and he's ripping the pages out, or he's dog-earing them to say, I'm going to talk to these guys on Monday when I get in there. Well, that's transitioned to just crazy people. It's just Monday is when all the wackadoos come in.
Schizophrenic Monday.
And I don't mean like legit crazy. I just mean like
just another man.
It's like okay. One of my all-time, it's probably my all-time favorite movie is Clerks, the first one. And there's that one scene where they're going through their favorite customers, and the one guy's like, what do you mean there's no ice? I got to drink this coffee hot. You know what I mean? Or like the guy that's like, how much is this? And there's a sign next to him in bright neon letters that says 99 cents. Like, that's the kind of stuff that I get on.
The same people anyone who works in any sort of retail capacity sees.
Yeah, except these
people, you can almost make a bingo game out of it.
Oh, of course. Except these people have been waiting 6 or 7 days to pick up their stuff. So now they're like even more like, why can't I have it? Can I have it? Is it ready?
They're like extra amped.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But I'm here now with my friends and tobacco and scotch. It's not a glass of scotch, relax, people. It's not full of scotch.
That's pretty dark scotch if I ever saw it.
Scotch, a little sweet tea.
I just have coffee. Iced coffee.
Did you get that?
The hint of milk.
Hint of milk. Good.
It was pretty bitter, so I had to tame it down a little bit. But I'm smoking a My Father Connecticut, which we got back in stock at work recently.
Cool. Who makes
They're very good.
That's the brand. Who makes it?
My father is the Don Pepin. Okay. All those guys.
I never heard of them.
What? My Father's like one of the bigger brands, dude.
I don't think I've ever. Maybe
they make good stuff. They have a few that I really am not a fan of, but there's a handful of them that I'm.
So I've been working on that. What do you think? Be honest. Everyone be honest.
Who's who?
What do you mean who's who?
Is that you in the hat?
I always have the baseball hat on. I was gonna put, so like I wanted to put your headphones on, but it would look weird. It would look like you just had like a.
I'd look like Princess Leia.
You'd look like Princess Leia, right? So then I was like, all right, I'll put white frames of your glasses, and then I was like, but no, it's not gonna make sense because you're looking the other direction.
What's up, Mike?
What's up, Mike? So.
Well, I mean, where are you going to put is there going to be like a Cobra in between us?
I got to figure that out still. This was my first start. I'll be honest. I hate the cigars. I think they look totally cartoony and they don't match the vibe. But I think everything else, I like everything else.
For anyone who needs context, we're currently just trying to make like the simplest of logos for this.
Yeah, we're trying to make, right.
I don't even know why, but
because it's fun.
Well, you were like making the Knobtails thing, so I was like, hey, if you're bored, do a Stogies logo.
I think it'd be great. My only problem is I didn't want it to be too Mad Men-ish, but then I didn't want it to just be like a Sopranos logo. Because I feel like so many cigars.
Do a Chondros perched on a lit cigar.
That would be cool. That would be very cool. I would probably. Awesome. I would probably meet you halfway and do like a Maruki scrub or something. Yeah. So I don't know. People tell me what you think. I don't like the cigars. I think I'm probably going to change them. Thank God for editing layers. But I'm sorry, but I think that looks like our silhouettes. I mean, we never were.
Yeah, I mean, my beard is looking pretty legit.
I did that, and I'm sorry, but like the hair, I was really proud of your hair. And I just put a little bit of beard on me because I'm facing.
You should do like the hair and, well, I'll also say do it in white, but then you wouldn't be able to see it in the background, so never mind.
Yeah. That is true. Yes, Tom. It does look like ETs. See, I don't like the cigars. I think the silhouettes look good. I'm proud of the silhouettes. I'm actually the most proud of Justin's hair and beard.
That took the most of that.
Actually, you know what took the most was that fucking baseball hat. Actually, I stole a silhouette of a baseball hat, and I had to like crop it out and like make it look presentable. And now I'm actually noticing where I fucked it up.
What are you using?
3 different apps on my phone.
Oh, that might be why it's such a challenge.
Yeah. Well, I don't have. Here's my problem. I'm a fairly decent artist. I can do some doodles. I would not consider.
Well, I mean, your little sketch of the Daytona table was like, I would have just been like, here's a square. This is what this is going to be. Here's a circle. This is what this is going to be. But very basic.
But my problem is I don't have a stylus, so I'm literally doing all of this with my finger.
Oh yeah, I can see.
And like I'm zooming in like
pixels
on my phone because my laptop's not a touchscreen, and my iPad is so old it's literally just used for like, honestly, it's used for reading a magazine. Because I just lay in bed and just flip with my finger, but that's honestly all it's good for. I mean, I probably watched YouTube on it a couple times, but. And then the other thing too is the iPad is so old. I never synced it with my iTunes account. So not iTunes, iCloud account. So like, the top of my phone are always in sync. That's how I get these pictures on here. But like, I need to get an actual stylus. That's what I need. And one of the programs I used is it's called Sketchbook, and actually, I'm pretty sure Jake used that to do some of his logo stuff too.
See, Mike's in agreement. A Condor definitely needs to be a part of it.
Yeah, I could agree.
See, I have Photoshop now because I went to go add it to our account for the magazine on Adobe.
Right.
And they were running a special where for like a year you get pretty much every Adobe app for $29.99 a month.
That's awesome.
So I was like, okay, even though I don't need pretty much any of them except a few. You want to bet? I love you. How do you do that? So I have Photoshop. I'm still very much learning it. It is like I thought InDesign was kind of tough to sort of learn in a hurry. Like Photoshop is much more complex, and thank God for YouTube because I can look up pretty much anything I need to know on how to do on there. But man.
Cigars as well, but not those ones. Thank you. I know. I literally did those cigars with my finger, like, meh. And that whole thing, by the way, was done over the past 45 minutes.
Oh, wow.
That's why I'm late. It's because it's like, oh my God, the time. Oh my God. And I had to bring all my stuff outside and like plug the laptop in, and then the dog's barking, and I had to make a cocktail. Can't half-ass this.
You know, all afternoon I told myself I was going to write and work on another project that I haven't really talked about a whole lot, and I haven't. I was like, I'm going to get my computer out and start working on it, and then I get sucked into YouTube or something. Like, okay, I'm going to get my computer and I'm going to start writing. It's like, no, I'm not.
It's tough, man. I'm really convinced that COVID made people not want to do stuff, and like even the people like us that, God bless, we were employed the entire time. It made me not want to write. It made me not want to read. I was just like, I don't want to do anything. I just want to stare mindlessly at the television. Ugh.
Well, I only have one day off this week, and I only have one day off next week, so I don't know. I feel like I'm a firm believer, like usually on my days off, right? So I have Sunday and Mondays off. Sunday is usually like my off day. Like I don't do anything. I hang out with the girls. Like that is my. I don't do anything except maybe mow the lawn or something.
Sure.
And then Monday is like catch up on cleaning up snakes, change waters, some magazine stuff usually.
Yeah.
And so kind of not having that like day, like, legitimately off day. I feel all kind of, I don't know. I mean, they can't all be zingers.
Yeah, but it throws it all out of whack, It does. So, but how was your day today?
I woke up and cleaned snakes. I did like a deep clean on everybody. Got a one of the racks that my dad was keeping his Alterna in. I brought that over last night from their place and set that up today. Got rid of another metal rack. So I have 2 of these things now. And I got rid of 4, 5, 6 something tubs.
Wow.
So
Word up.
it's getting compressed slowly, and it's nice. I'll have so much more space when I can get rid of all those racks and then get a stand built for those Python portals, which I have to get another one built and all the stuff ordered because I have those gents and I coming
Nice.
sometime in the next couple weeks. I don't know. Like, it's really hot to ship right now, so I think they want to hold off on shipping. But
Yeah.
I also don't. I know I want to have my setups going, ready. So I need to get another Python portal ordered and built.
Speaking of Brahms, I set up all those Cambro tub rack perch things, and even with me, so like I don't really have like a work area. Like, I mean, I could have did it in the snake room, but I don't have like a folding table or anything. So I literally put a towel on my bed and I laid out all the pieces, and David was awesome enough to pre-assemble one of them for me just as like a template.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not difficult to figure out, but
Right.
it was way better to see like how he drilled and where he drilled to screw them together. And
See, I thought maybe they just slid in.
well, you could just do that, but they would move. Like,
okay,
if the snake pushed on it too much,
so they're like they like screw in.
They
through the mount.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, and it's very easy to plug and play. And I wasn't really paying attention because the one he sent me, what's up, Trey? The one he sent me was the template one had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 had 8 pieces. Well, when I got through like 4 of the 6, and I finally was like, yeah, like I'm doing this. I got this. This is good. I had all these extra pieces, and I was like,
in there.
What did I just do? And I realized he was kind enough to give me extra pieces to change them up and play around with it, kind of experiment.
Man, David's the man. Like,
he's the man.
It really irks me when I see people basically copying the stuff he's doing, 3D printing or making something that's identical to Python portal. People trying to sort of piggyback off of his genius in a sense. And,
his brilliance, yeah.
It's really frustrating because it's like, what's wrong with just supporting someone who's already doing that? Like, his prices aren't outrageous.
Yeah.
He almost always sends you extra pieces that you might need or something, and the hardware comes with it, so you don't have to worry about buying the right screw sizes, getting the right head structure, whether they're pan head or whatever. Like, all that's taken care of. You literally just have to put it all together.
The instructions were layman, and they were articulate, but layman. And it even says in the one line, it says, do not over tighten because it's plastic, So
right.
I actually tested it where I over tightened one just to see what it would feel like, and then I under tightened one, and honestly, you could have over tightened it, and it would have been fine. It would have been. But yeah, I can't speak highly. I can't speak highly enough. Is that highly enough? They're awesome, and he's
a lot of copycat stuff, and it's like really. And we've had guys that did similar stuff to what he's doing. Message us, on the THP page and be like, "Hey, if I send you some of this, will you try it out?" And it's basically like, "Sorry, man, this is a special team Forge Designs household."
And I'll tell you, man, I was concerned with the Cambros being not that customizable, and I do admit that I chose a size tub too small for my end goal, but I'm going to make it work. I'm more than smitten with what Sean has done. Sean has made me exactly what I wanted in the rack. The tubs fit flawlessly. The locking mechanisms are brilliant. the tubs are too small. Like I chose this too small of a tub, and dude, with Brahms cradles that they just
Man, I don't know how he does it.
It's perfect.
He nails it.
He nails it.
And you tell him the tub dimensions and right. Say you need this. Guarantee you he's gonna knock it out.
Oh yeah, and here's the kicker too, is that because the perches are 3D printed, they obviously have flex to them. Now you could bend it and you could snap it with your hands if you really wanted to, but when you press the perches together to line it up to where you're going to drill it, you're eyeballing it, and if you're not careful, it won't be like this. It'll be like that. It'll be like twist canted. So I tried my damnedest to make it straight, but there were 2 or 3 of them that weren't perfectly straight, and it almost is like he compensated diameter of the perch per the space that it would be, per the cradled space that would be in, so that if you did do what I did and make it crooked, it still fits in perfect.
Mm-hmm.
It's brilliant.
I'll tell you what, like I use enough of his Draco and Python portals to where I ponied over the dough for one of these bad boys.
What is that? Some kind of router?
It's a Dremel Sawmax.
Dremel Saw?
You can get them at Lowe's. They're about $100.
Okay.
But like, I literally was like, if I'm going to keep building these Python portals and Draco portals, this thing's amazing.
It looks hardcore.
Because before I had basically like a vertical drill. I don't know what they actually call them,
mm-hmm.
and that's how I would have to cut it. But the line would never be straight. Like this thing's got weight to it, so like when you have it and you line it up right, it's got a little notch. It's laser sharp, and then you just cut off any excess. Any of the burrs. So, and I tried it the other night on some of the light diffuser for the egg boxes. You can see it right there.
Right.
It cuts, like I took a Sharpie and basically took one of the egg boxes and set it on top and outlined it, and this thing cuts right through that too. And that's like brittle plastic.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't, it's not so fast or so abrasive that it's going to pull the diffuser and rip it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just going to cut through.
Yeah. So I mean, if anyone plans on building a regular amount of Python portals or Draco portals, I think those things are totally worth them. You can get them, I think, for like $86 or so. You can get them a little cheaper on Amazon, but Lowe's has them. And yeah, that thing's worth its weight in gold, and it makes the whole process a lot faster too, because when you're doing that drill, you worry about cracking the tub. With this thing, it's like butter. And the blades are cheap too, which is nice.
Yeah, when you have like those handheld jigsaws, or not jigsaw, handheld, jigsaw.
Mm-hmm.
I worry that because you're going and the slightest little tilt of your wrist is just going to go.
Yeah. But yeah, not with this thing, man. It cuts through them like it's nothing.
Like butter.
Like butter.
Like a hot knife through melted butter. For all my Bill Burr fans out
there. But
there.
I'm not going to be doing the stupid thing I did with the last ones me and Bratz built that we did the YouTube video on. Because when David sends you the tracks for the Python portals, there's a track on the bottom that's deeper, and there's a track on top that's shallower. And you're doing that so that they can put the glass in, and we completely spaced and forgot about that. And so it was all jacked up. And then I had like the guy, like I now can't take that glass out of the track.
At all?
No.
Okay. Everything okay?
Yeah.
You're leering off. Are you looking at your better half, or are you staring at the insect?
She's being weird.
Yeah? As long as she's cute. So I figured, for those who have not seen the beautiful Cambro solutions from Specialty Enclosure Designs. There you have it. So that is a Cambro food grade tub, model 12189. I believe it is 9 by 18 by 12, I think it is. Memory serves me right. So that is the perch. I've got them all black, and Henry had a brilliant idea of dipping the whole thing in silicone and then slathering it with cocoa butter or whatever. But at the same time, I kind of like that they're in, utilitarian, somewhat industrial. Forgive my phone for going off if that's loud in people's ears. But you can see here, like these little bridges here, there and there, those are actually movable. So they can slide however you want. So like some of these I have 2, some of them I have 3. And then the screw points are actually here, 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 and here. Oh, this phone is going to be annoying. Let me put it on silent. And people in group chats, man, I just can't get over it. So in these particular ones, I want to do a simple setup. So I just threw some jungle mix in the bottom and added a little fake foliage that I had laying around. I need to buy more fake foliage. All of these are for Trimersurus purple maculatus, the shore pit vipers. So there is a red and green colored male, and he was happy to be in there, but he hates me in overall, so that's good. And
they're all angry.
Right? This is a bad photo, but just to show you, like, there's the heat tape in the back, and just to show you, like, how low these are. And that was my whole thing with David, was the existing purchase he had were obviously meant for chondros.
They sit at the top.
They're too tall. They're just too tall. So he had these bridged down. There's another male. This is more of a typical morph male. Actually, I really like him. I think he looks stellar. That white stitching. And these photos, they really don't do it justice, man, because, like, this is such a nice earthy green, and then these saddles are all actually purple. And then he's got a bunch of yellow and red on his face. So I'm a big fan of him. He'll hopefully make some bomb-looking babies. This is a black female. And, like, I wanted to experiment a little bit with different size water dishes. I wanted to see how much humidity was kept in there, because we didn't do that many Henry and I drilled the holes, and I didn't know how much ventilation would actually be accessible,
Yeah.
But I like this because you can see how much it dips down, and literally the snake can just cradle itself in here and still have headroom up there. There's another female. Actually, I like this picture. That gives you a good idea of the depth in which these things sit. And I'm sure, David could make one lower, but I feel like this is actually the perfect height. Whether it be a baby scrub or Amazon tree boas or whatever, I think that this actually works quite well.
Yeah, because I really wanted to get something like that, but it only had one rung down the center,
right,
for chondros when they outgrow these ladder perches that I have in my rack. But mine doesn't have those ledges in the top.
Right, because it's that's a Cambro thing, which is kind of.
I have a ton of his perch holders that you screw on.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Yeah. I'm trying to find a picture of the rack. I don't think I have a picture of it with the tubs in it. Yeah, never mind. I got to take a picture.
Mike, that's why you need to hit up Sean at MP Cages and Exotics.
Yeah.
He's the one who made that rack.
Sean's the one who made that rack. Sean made me exactly what I wanted, specific, and I'm smitten. I am. I'm absolutely tickled with excitement over this rack. Can't talk good enough things.
He's the man, dude.
He's the man. And I was hesitant about the Cambro thing, but dude, I'm happy about it. I'm super happy about it. They're crystal clear. Crystal clear. Sean with MP Cages and Exotics.
I'm sending you the link right now.
There you go.
I'm trying to.
And thank you for the kind words, Trey.
Sending it to you on Facebook. Morph Seekers.
I'm happy. And then I moved that rhino I accidentally just showed. I moved her out of a tub and into a 2-foot vision. So she's probably happier despite her lack of showing it. And she hasn't pooped in like probably 4 months, maybe. So I know the minute now that I put her in a brand new cage, she's going to plaster the thing. So, but yeah, it's good. The only thing, I'm almost at the point now where I have all the hot stuff on one side and I'm going to put the harmless stuff on the other. That way there's no accidents of any kind. Just like half the room is one, half the room is the other.
Yeah, that's probably wise.
What's that?
That's probably wise.
Yeah. I just like I know myself and I'm super meticulous with it. But again, shit happens, you know, and especially when you have tubs. And like all my tubs are marked, you know, danger venomous reptile with the scientific name and the quantity value and the common name. And I have some of the stickers from Cloud Forest Design on a few of them, which I'm waiting. I gotta message him because I gave him a list of like 15 species and he's yet to reply. But I have one white-bellied saw scale because I had a pair. The male died. I have this female and she's in a tub, and I have no place to put her. So like I'm at the point now where I'm like, do I just put her on the floor and just leave it on the floor, or do I just wait for her to get bigger and put her in like a CB70 rack? Because I still have CB70 toes.
I mean, not that they get that big anyways.
I know, and that's my thing. Is there's a lot of room for a little snake. Like I'm not concerned with it escaping. I'm just concerned with like it's a lot of room, like too much room. That makes sense.
I've been trying to get the website updated and up to speed.
Oh yeah,
with all the articles.
Cool. What's the how's it looking with the response to this month's issue? I feel like this month is as good as the Chondro one. I just feel it.
It's been doing pretty well. It's already up to a couple hundred reads, which I also will tell everyone. I actually went back after the day we released that issue. I went back, hunted down all the pictures again for the Chondro issue for the 3rd time.
Okay.
Brought it back up in InDesign, relinked every picture, adjusted some of the articles that were cut off, re-uploaded it to issue, re-uploaded it to MagCloud. So now if you order the Chondro, because I had a few people message me saying they wanted to buy the Chondro issue, I said, well, hold off because I'm gonna fix it.
Right.
And so it is now fixed. It is now good to go.
Excellent.
I didn't make it a big thing because I didn't want a bunch of people saying, I bought the new issue, can you refund me? And be like,
yeah.
That's on MagCloud, unfortunately. But I think we're pretty much dialed in as far as the actual export and stuff now. So, like, there's a export setting preset from MagCloud that if you're putting it on their website, you use that, and that's like the main issue. That's where the disconnect was happening. Was I wasn't using that preset. So.
Okay, and that's why it was slightly out of spec.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's now fixed. When I uploaded the new issue, I went through every page on MagCloud to see, because it shows you before you publish it, what's getting chopped and what's not. I checked everything and everything looked solid. So
cool, man. Good shit.
We slowed down this time. Yeah, I looked at it. Billy looked at it. Riley looked at it. We got 3 sets of eyes. We're like, let's not jump to put it out. Let's have Riley, the error master, scan it.
Sure.
And of course, this one he's like, dude, everything looks fine. And I was like,
Better safe than sorry.
Yeah.
Better safe than sorry. 3 eyes are better than 2.
Already getting things together for the 10th. I'm amazed that we're already at like the 10th issue. Like, I feel like I freaking blinked, and we went from first issue to 10. That's just crazy, man. Like, it's almost been a year.
It has. It's awesome.
It just blows my mind.
I love it. I love it. It's good shit.
And there's a guy at work who's part-time, and he's older, and he's keeps telling me, he's like, 50 pages is too much. You guys need to do like a smaller version of it and release it more frequently. And I'm like,
no. Now, I will agree with him that 50 pages is a lot. But I think once a month is champion.
Well, the only reason it's 50 pages is because I like to do spreads. I like to do full pages that are a picture. You know, like condensed. If you condensed it all down, where there was like maybe 2 pictures per article, it would be half that size.
Yeah, but that would be boring.
Exactly.
Yeah, that'd be boring.
He doesn't understand that. I've told him that a million times. I'm like, I put a lot of pictures in there. It's a very visual. He's a guy that works with me.
Okay.
And I was like, it's a visual magazine. Like it's only 50 pages because I wanted to be.
Yeah, but here's the thing too: is let's say you left out one article and saved it for the next issue. It would still have the visualness to it, but would it be less pages and you're saving an article for the next month? No? No, you don't want to do it, or no, it wouldn't matter?
No, I don't want to do it because
I got you.
To keep things diverse, we try to really make sure we cover different stuff in each issue. Content really hasn't been the problem.
That's good, man. So now, are you guys getting, because like you guys really don't tell me what's like what you got in the pipeline, so to speak. I mean, every once in a while you'll be like, dude, check out this, but have you been getting like a good enough diversity that's not just snakes? Because we had talked countless times about how our friend circle, it's all snake people. We're snake people. Shit, we're on a snake show right now. But are there people still giving turtle stuff and lizard stuff and whatever?
Yeah. That's what I tell people. When someone's like, I want to write, I tell them, I was like, we need as much non-snake related stuff as we can get.
Yeah.
Like I tell anybody that's writing a lizard article or something, I'm like, if you have a friend that keeps something really cool and they want to write about it, like, we want it. Yeah. And I think that helps a lot, by not being picky, as long as it's not. Basically, my 3 rules for the criteria for writing are, it's like factually accurate. Like the information's good, it's solid. It's not like you wrote an article and you've only been keeping whatever it is for a week. That it's not the snoot pooping bullshit, and then that it's not like negative towards someone else in the hobby, or it's not trash talking anybody.
Right.
And I tell people all the time, I'm like, we're not picky. Even if it's a shorter article, that takes up a page or half a page, like we'll use it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I really haven't even done that much writing for it. I think there's 2 articles in the whole set so far that I've written.
The Bairds, and what was the other one?
The Dark Frog.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So it may. I mean, if it comes down to a point where like I have to write a few more articles to sort of supplement it, I will. But right now, we haven't been at that point yet.
Good. Awesome.
We're always on the hunt for, like, if I see a really cool species on Instagram that I don't see much of, I'll go and check out the person's profile, and if it seems like they got a pretty good handle on them, I'll message them and be like, hey, you want to write about these? And most people are pretty down with it. So
cool, man. You ever talk to Casey about those thought-provoking.
I need to. Like, I've mentioned them to him multiple times, and he's like, I don't know what the reason was that he hasn't done them yet. But
Yeah, those got to come.
I need Henry's King article. King article. I know he's in there. I know he's listening.
Yep.
But I do want to focus more on sort of like opinion pieces, I guess.
On what?
Like opinion pieces, like not just care and herping, and like I want people to write articles on, why you need to be, like, if you're going to sell reptiles, be prepared for tire kickers. There's no avoiding them.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Like, it doesn't have to just be care. It doesn't have to just be herping. It doesn't just have to be.
And I tell you, man, I really like that thermostat review and like product reviews.
Mm-hmm.
Product reviews are a major thing. I mean, shit, if someone even does a review on substrate, on whatever brand it is, whether it's a good review or bad review, and that's something that I noticed in, a lot of the gun stuff is, I used to subscribe to a bunch of different gun magazines, and very, very, very few times were people ever going to be like, it's garbage, and this is why. Now, I'm not saying that we need that, but people can allude to.
Well, it's also not much of a review if they're all positive.
That's true. Exactly. You took the words out of my mouth. That's perfect. Because, like, for example, when I was shopping sand for a particular lizard species that I was keeping, like, sand is sand. It's
right.
How coarse it is. It's how coarse. It's how fine. It's how well does it clump under moisture. Does it clump? Does it float? Does it sink? You know what I mean? What is the actual stone that it's made from? How dyed is dyed? You know what I mean? And like, I mean, shit, I should write an article on sand, but I'm not going to because I will not do. But
I want off the wall topics that don't really think about.
It's actually one of the things I want to talk to you about tonight was, I need to do lighting for my room because a couple cages have actual heat. The racks have heat, and I have some heat emitters in the room just to keep it ambient. I got the actual coiled ceramic heat emitters. I actually just broke one. The one that was on my Gila Monster, I broke like an asshole. And it sucks because I caught it. I caught the whole dome, and I guess it just must have shook it, the right thing. And I heard it go, and I was like, oh no. And I unscrewed it because I thought it cracked. I unscrewed it and I jiggle it, and there's something cracked and broken ceramic on the inside. So now I got to buy a new one of those. Those are $50 a piece. But I want to pick people's brains and get information about lighting because, like, I want to do LED lighting just to illuminate the cage, right? I don't care about plants. I don't care about UVB. I want illumination. I want to be able to see what I'm looking at. And I wound up buying a couple lights from Home Depot that have little connector switches. And you can connect, I think it's 4 or 6 lights together, light strips together, depending on the wattage. Right. And I want to pick people's brains about that, see if any of our viewers or listeners have dabbled in that sort of thing.
Well, just like the stuff Casey was talking about, it's like cool stuff that people would see that on the cover and be like, actually, that sounds really interesting. I want to read that.
Yeah. Yeah. I also love backyard herping articles too, because people, when they go herping, they legit go out into the wilderness away from civilization or suburbia or whatever. But there's so many animals that are still in our neighborhoods and still in our, down the street. But like my down the street is totally different than your down the street, which is totally different than, Cox, which is totally different than Carly's, which is totally different than Riley's. Yeah. And I think that we need to get people from all over the realm to do some backyard herping stuff too, because like grandiose herp trip stories like Nipper's Israel article is fucking breathtaking, man. I mean, I have legit delusions of grandeur of traversing the Negev and looking for vipers, but at the same time, I do enjoy an article about some kid from Milwaukee who caught fox snakes,
That was a regular piece that I was talking to Billy about at one point that I still want to do. It's just a matter of how often could we get something like that. Dan, you're funny.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
like the weirdest thing you found herping, or like really just crazy herping stories of like, you know, this one time we were, you know, out in the middle of nowhere and all of a sudden we were getting shot at. It turns out it was like cartel members right across the border. Like, just, I don't know. Just I would like. I'm sure there's plenty of stories out there that would be pretty fun to read.
So keep talking, because the weirdest thing I've ever found herping, I'm going to show you guys. It's not article worthy, but it's definitely worth a story. Hold on, I gotta find it.
Well, I got the idea came from me because if anyone's ever read Revolver magazine, I don't know if they still do it or not, but there was a point where like the very last page of the magazine before the back cover was like a story from like a front man. It was only like a page, so it wasn't a big article, but it was basically like, it was called Tales from the Pit.
Right.
And so it was like these front men talking about the craziest thing they saw in mosh pits and like circle pits at shows. And it's like, I was up there and then all of a sudden I saw this kid just get knocked out. He's like, I saw teeth just scatter across the floor like freaking Skittles.
Really?
He's like, yeah, just like crazy stuff like that. It was always like really interesting because they got it from different people, like different bands and stuff.
Right.
I was thinking about it when we were doing I think it was the first issue even. I was like, man, it'd be really cool if I could find a steady supply of stories like that.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That would be absolutely awesome. Oh man, I gotta find this picture. It's so fucked up. I mean, I guess I could tell the story while I'm looking for it. So my friends Matt and Jamie, they live about an hour north of me. They live in Stewart. And we used to go herping, like mostly backyard stuff up by them. It's a lot of suburbia. It's a lot of countryside stuff. And there was a construction site that I guess they were bulldozing the woods to make like a nature boardwalk over like the cypress swamp.
It's ironic.
What's that?
It's ironic.
Yeah, I mean that's what they do in Florida. They make it a preserve, but then they bulldoze a boardwalk and make a boardwalk through it so that people can jog and bike ride and whatever through nature, which is contradictory as hell, but that's what they do. And we were going around and like there was like backhoes and bulldozers and stuff there. So like, you know, we're looking under the bulldozers and looking under the equipment and stuff. And there's a bunch of plywood and sheet metal. And we would, you know, flip everything over and take a gander. And we found like, I guess people dumped their crap there. So there was like a bunch of like a shack that they broken down with like 2x4 with nails in it. And there was an old busted porcelain toilet. And there was a bunch of like flower pots that they just ditched with all kinds of weird weeds growing out of them. But we were stumbling across stuff and we find this statue of a child. And this statue is one of those like ceramic or concrete statues that like it's meant to sit on like the edge of the pool. Like it's like a little boy sitting.
Yeah, yeah.
And apparently, if they're in good condition, they're actually worth a ton of money, and like people collect them. And this thing is genuine, bona fide creepy. And I have a picture of Matt holding it like a child, holding it like a baby, and it's just the creepiest thing ever. His mom loves that stuff, so she actually has the child, as we call it, sitting by the edge of the pool, and it's just like, ooh, like.
Dude, if I looked out and saw that sitting next to my pool, I don't care how long I've had it, it would probably still like, I'd still probably freak out a little bit thinking there was actually someone sitting in the pool.
Oh yeah, totally creepy.
But like that, and then like the story you were talking about of like when you guys were out herping and you stumbled upon like that secret sketchy like, bomb site or something that you were talking about.
Yeah, I mean,
just like stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, people have stories. Like it's got to exist.
Yeah, I mean,
I've been meaning to hop on one of the herping groups and like put out a little post saying, "Hey, if you got a story, like let me know because I want it."
I mean, dude, like the one time we rolled up on that like KKK church, and like with like legit crosses on fire and shit, or like you know, you getting stalked by wildlife and not knowing what it was, and hair in the back of your neck starts standing up, you know. Oh man, I'm gonna have to find it another time. Damn, I don't remember how long ago it was. It was a few years back.
Yeah, dude, write one of them, and I'll put it in this next issue, and then I'll put a thing at the bottom that says if you have a story,
Okay.
let us know.
Yeah, man. I'll write that. Oh man. Yeah, I've got a couple things in the pipeline that like I started and I need to finish. Like I got like the first like page done and I need to like put more into it. The problem is too is getting my research and like I go down the research rabbit hole. You know what I mean? And like I start looking for like, you know, a taxonomist's name. And I start finding his papers and I start reading his papers. And then I get a link to another paper. And I'm like, oh my God, I've been reading about this dude for 2 days and he's not even relevant to the article. You know?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm about to give up because I don't find this thing. Yeah, I give up. Oh well.
Do it, Cox.
What did Cox say?
Said if you want a fun random last page story, I'll get you one. He said I may write you one and send it to you, see what you think.
Oh, nice.
I just like it's a community magazine, you know, so I want people to feel like they can come to us and be like, hey, you know, I really like these. Like I had someone writing an article on axolotls.
That's awesome.
I'm like, I don't know anything about axolotls.
I love axolotls. I don't know shit about them, but they're awesome.
So they were like, would you want an article about that? I was like, hell yeah.
Of course. Absolutely.
Like I want it to be like an open door sort of policy for someone's like, I really, you know, I want to write an article on, you know, base leopard gecko morphs. You know, that may not appeal to a lot of people, especially in the leopard gecko community, but to guys like me, where I don't know a damn thing about leopard gecko morphs.
Yeah. And
like, you know, okay.
It doesn't have to be a crazy article on it, but I would definitely read about all the leopard gecko morphs. Like, I'm not a morph guy, but it would still interest me. I'd still read it. Absolutely. Or better yet, the leopard gecko husbandry that I know of is 25, 30 years old. Let's see some new techniques.
Probably not standard practice anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see some naturalistic enclosures. You know what I mean? You know, people have them. You know,
like it'd be cool to also get like someone like Keith McPeak or one of the guys that's been in the hobby for a really long time, basically say like, this is how it used to be, and then have someone like one of us be like, this is how it is now. Sort of a compare and contrast sort of article.
Sure.
You know, back in '95, this is what shows were like, and now it's like 2020, and
yeah,
shows are digital.
Yeah, even so far as to say like, what the plastic shoe boxes of yesteryear and the plastic sweater boxes of yesteryear, opposed to Cambro tubs and Sterilite gasket tubs, like that's awesome. You know.
Or even just like a regular article on like someone like Eugene Bissett or, you know, well, we do the industry spotlight, so it would be something similar to that. But even if it was just a one-off article about here's guys that have done a lot for the hobby that maybe you haven't heard of.
Yeah.
You know?
I would totally write an article on my late mentor. I mean, obviously, there's some people like, I mean, dude, Reed was friends with him, and I don't think I've ever met someone that met him and wasn't in love with the guy. You know, I would write an article about that. You know, talk to his widow and get some old pictures from him from the '70s. Craziest thing. I mean, I probably shouldn't tell the story because I'm gonna add it. I'll probably put it in the article. But like, where my parents live now, the house that my parents live in, 22 years ago was swamp, and he used to find aberrant scarlet kings in what is now my parents' yard. And like he had pictures of them, like Polaroid pictures. He used to carry around a Polaroid camera around his neck, and he would snapshot like identifying marks on like cypress trees and stuff. And then he would write on the back of the Polaroid like aberrant scarlet king, high yellow, 23 centimeters, and the date. And like it was just a picture of a tree. Like,
right.
He picture of the snake. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. I think that's awesome.
yeah, I'm always thinking of stuff that I want to get, eventually as far as articles and content.
Oh, and Brad, my Gila monster is of unknown origin. It was captive bred. I know that for a fact. It was bred by someone who, out of state, who sold 4 or 5 babies. It's reticulated, by the way, and sold them to Underground, like maybe 8 years ago, 6 to 8 years ago, I'll say. And it was probably about maybe that big at the time. And it was bad. It was not doing good. I'm pretty sure she was the runt of the litter, and no one wanted her. She was posted online. People came in to look at her in the warehouse, and nobody wanted it. And I had 2 guys doing venomous with me at the time, and the 3 of us were like, "Hey, let's just split her, or split it." We didn't know it was a her yet, and we did. And we kept her at Underground's retail store on display, and we actually named her Amigo. We thought it was a boy, because she had some big old head action going on. And my one friend was like, "I don't care. I'm done. I don't want to, I'm out of lizards. Keep her." And then my other friend was like, "Yeah, I don't really care either. Just take her home." So I took her home, and then the first friend that dipped out, he actually wound up getting a male that was proven because they did the bathtub trick. And after he found out the bathtub trick, he was like, we need the ultrasound. We need to. So Hen Dog actually had a vet friend that does all of his blue ribbon bulldog action. So we went to that vet with both lizards, and we ultrasounded them, or sonogrammed them, sonogrammed them at the vet. And I have to pull that video. I have video of us, like looking at the screen and stuff. So it's a pair. And now my friend Mike has the male, and I have the female. And Henry renamed her Ophelia.
Amiga.
Yeah. And
Novia.
You need to write. What's that?
Novia.
Novia?
It's girlfriend in Spanish.
Oh. Oops. But Cox, you need to write something. Most definitely, man. Just write it, dude. Get it out there. I love it. You have so much to contribute, man. You really do. So much to contribute. We keep telling you to do the whole island locality rethink article. Do it. Make it happen.
I do. I want more lizard stuff, more turtle stuff, more dart frog stuff, more vivarium stuff. Yeah. If anyone has any interest in it, just let me know.
It's because snakes are the best.
And I mean, I think it's fair to say that part of the hobby is probably the largest.
Yeah.
I mean, would you think that snakes are the most kept group?
I would say in terms of the eclectic reptiles, it's snakes hands down. I would say in the overall reptilian pets, it's lizards. Because more people can deal with a lizard. Whether it eats bugs or veggies or whatever, people are still apprehensive of snakes. Now, in the community, most definitely it's snakes. But like you look at my cousin. My cousin, he likes snakes a lot. He doesn't want to feed rodents. He's that's not his thing. Whether it's live or dead, he doesn't want to deal with it. So he's got a leopard gecko, he's got a bearded dragon, he's got a crested gecko. And that's a classic example of someone who's not in the industry or in the community, but who has 3 lizards opposed to a snake. And it's not because snakes are bad. It's just because that's his personal opinion.
Right.
I feel like that's the gist of it. I think that more pet people have lizards than anything else.
Ooh, I will say, after talking on the last THP episode about the whole egg box thing and doing the layered substrates, I'm very curious now to try that.
How them springtails, they all die or no?
No, they're all, they were. I tried to candle those eggs this morning, or earlier today, like Billy had mentioned, and they were crawling on, man.
So now, of those 5 eggs, right?
Yeah.
You killed all of them?
Yeah.
And?
The 2 that are good, well, the one that is for sure good, the other one that is not bad, they look like they're solid. 2 of the 3 of the ones that went downhill, I can't really tell, and then one of them looks like it never really took off. Like the egg is almost completely see-through, but I need to invest in like the right flashlight.
Okay.
You know, something that's really bright, because what I was using wasn't great.
Streamlight makes a pocket light that takes a AAA battery. It's 50 lumens. It has a little pen clip on it for like a lapel, and is $19.95, I think. And that is probably my favorite candling flashlight. It's the size of a cigarette. It's perfect.
Let's see. Bill said lizards will always win out for newbies. Snake collections probably tend to be larger among individual keepers. There are way more keepers who are 1 to 3 years in the hobby and one beginner, quote unquote lizard.
Yeah. I'd agree.
Accurate.
Accurate.
Which Mr. Bill there wrote an awesome snapping turtle article about both common and alligator snappers, which if I had the space for an adult alligator snapper when I'm like 90, I would be all about that, dude. Alligator snappers are cool.
They're awesome. Did I tell you about my boy JT being part of the snapping turtle community on Facebook in Georgia?
No.
All right, so one of my good friends, JT, he used to live down by me. Now he lives out in Marietta. And he's always been into snapping turtles. And for a while, he was buying them. And in Florida, it was no big deal. You just had them. It was a pet turtle. You know? And he bought a gator snapper, and he got it when it was about that big. And then when he got it to about softball size, a little smaller dinner plate, he was like, dude, I don't want to take care of turtles anymore. I think my phase is done. You want it? And I said, sure. So I took it. I had that thing for like 9 years. And I got it probably the size of like maybe 3 footballs kind of together. So probably about that big, about 8, 9 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And Fish and Wildlife came in for their annual inspection.
Oh, yeah. I remember you telling me about that.
And it was in my living room in my parents' house. And they walk in, they're like, what is that? I was like, it's an alligator snapping turtle. They're like, you can't have that. I said, I'm not going to argue with you, Mr. Inspector, but I'm pretty sure that I can. I only have one. It's captive bred. You know, I can paper trail it. And it's just a pet, man. I had the thing 9 years. And they were like, all right, well, we're going to look into this and we're going to get back to you. Never heard anything. A year later, a new inspector comes in. He walks right past it. Doesn't even look at it. And as he's about to leave, I said, hey, this was an issue last year. I just want to, put it out there on the table. Like, I have this thing. He's like, yeah, you're not supposed to. And they're going to make a new permit. So when they do make that permit, just make sure you get that permit. And I was like, all right, cool. So some time goes on. A couple years go by. And my friend Andy, who was living in Tampa, I call him up. I'm like, hey, man, what am I going to do with this turtle with this permit? And he told me, because he had like 4 or 5 of them, he told me that the state of Florida made it so hard to get a permit for a gator snapper, you physically have to be on their educator list. And basically, you're applying for a permit for education. You have to give them a list of every single show that you're going to be doing. You have to give them a copy of your PowerPoint presentation. And if it's not educational enough, they're going to revoke your license. And it's a lottery and blah, 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 blah. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. So I gave it to JT. And JT wound up giving it to another friend somewhere out of state. Because remember, he moved to Georgia. I don't even know if you can have him in Georgia.
I don't know either. I wouldn't be surprised if you can't, because Georgia's
right.
ass backwards.
So he winds up giving it to another friend. I don't even know, Pennsylvania or somewhere, or maybe the Carolinas, where you could just know the kind of turtle. So he's still part of a turtle group on Facebook to the point where they made him an admin. And this guy keeps trying to get in to this turtle group, and they're trying to screen people to, keep the spam out. And there's a point to the story, by the way. I know it's a long story. So this guy keeps trying to get in. So he looks at the guy's profile. He has no friends. He's only had a profile for like a month. So, and it's always a different name, but it's the same picture. So he's like, messages the guy, listen, I understand this is spam. You're not getting in. Fuck off. The guy replies back with, hey, I'm a local researcher. I've been using my wife's Facebook account. I'm one of the founding members of the turtle group, and I'm trying to get back into it, and my wife is sick of me using her Facebook, so I made my own. And he says, I kept changing my name to see if I could get into the turtle group. He's like, by the way, I live down the street from you. I have permits, scientific permits, to catch adult gator snappers. So now he let the guy back in the group. They become best of buds, and now they go out on the weekends and they catch 200-pound gator snappers.
I feel like those probably grow quickly when they're young, and then they hit like a certain age where it just comes to like a screeching halt.
I'm pretty sure that too, because mine got to the size it was probably around 6-7 years, and then it just kind of stopped for another 2 or 3 before I got rid of it.
Like once they get into that area where they're like out of the realm of predation, that they're just like coast.
Yep.
Grow an inch every 10 years.
Oh yeah, if that. Now here's what gets me: is all these people noodling.
Right?
I would never.
First of all,
God,
I ain't sticking my hand in a hole underwater where I don't know what's in it. Absolutely not.
Dude, if I had an underwater camera and I could look in there first and see like the catfish and no turtle, maybe I'd consider it. But no, I'm not. I'm not going to reach my arm into a hole that I can't see underwater and let something bite my hand so that I can drag it out. Fuck that.
Pass.
And you know, I just remembered my snapping turtle that I gave back to him was the one that bit Steve-O in the ass on Jackass.
It's famous.
It's famous. And we made jokes about how now my turtle has, hepatitis. I did not mean to say underwear camera. I meant to say underwater camera.
Yeah.
If I did say underwear camera, hey now.
Phil's got an underwear camera.
Yeah, boy.
But egg bucks, I definitely want to do like almost like aquarium gravel, like that fine stuff you can get at Walmart, like $4 for like a pound of it.
Yep.
Layer that, like the screening, like the substrate barrier, vermiculite, and then the spag on top, with maybe a layer of that diffuser somewhere in there too. So
okay.
I'm actually very. I think. I mean, part of me thinks that would almost work better than anything else.
Yeah, and then you're still having the eggs elevated off of the substrate, right?
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, like they're sitting. If it's rock, barrier, vermiculite, spag, and they're sitting on the spag. What I was also talking about was that's nice because you can almost create like a little nest for each egg, and you don't have to worry about them rolling.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. I hate
airflow going through the layers and stuff to where they're being able to breathe.
I don't know. I just hate spag in that condition because in Florida we have so much mold, dude, and I just watch eggs go moldy.
I've never had mold in the sphagnum moss, though.
Dude, I get white fuzz in everything I use sphagnum with.
See, I'd get that on occasion, but what are you using? Good spag?
I'm using either Reptile branded bag, expensive, stupid stuff, or Orchid all natural from.
See, that's what I use
from Home Depot,
and that stuff's awesome. It's
dude,
like top grade.
I just had bad luck with it. I also think I'm a little spiteful towards spag because I had my first ever rainbow boa. I didn't know this. I was young. I was dumb. I didn't know. I had a big basin of sphagnum moss for the rainbow boa to live underneath because, they're like swampy. And there was always standing water. And the toxicology from the vet said that it drank in excess levels of contaminated water. because it basically would shit in the moss and then drink the shit water, and its GI tract just got jacked.
Yeah.
So like I'm just not into the whole spag thing.
I don't know. I'm gonna try it though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's actually, now that I think about it, that's what they used to do with chondro eggs back in the day. And like the old, like incubating them in giant gallon jar, like old school. They had like layers like that.
Bury them in it or no?
Huh?
They would bury them in the spag?
No, but they had the layers of like, there was some rock, there was some vermiculite, there was some spag. But I just wonder if you do that and then you have springtails and then maybe you have some isopods in there, you know, doing their thing. It may be too hot actually for some of the isopods, but
yeah,
I don't know. It's very much worth experimenting with, I think, and I'm going to give it a shot. See what happens.
Sure.
I mean, if you think about it too, that's almost very similar to sort of how they'd be laid in the wild. Like they'd be in an area where there's like sort of some form of bioactivity going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
that's true.
Not that this would necessarily be bioactive, but I just think the layers and the water being able to drain and those eggs being able to get what they need, but not be sitting in a wet substrate constantly, you know, where there's not any air circulation coming through it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I can see that.
But these bears' eggs are supposed to hatch like, I'm down to, come on,
You know,
4 days.
4 days?
I'm inside of 4 days.
So what I was gonna say is I've been thinking, are you gonna cut them bared eggs or no?
I don't think so.
You're just gonna leave them be.
I don't really worry about it as much with colubrids. But I don't know where I necessarily sit on that whole thing. Like when it comes to chondros and stuff, I think it's, well, I guess it doesn't even necessarily appeal to like just chondros, but I think if you are the one who made those eggs happen intentionally, like it is your job to make sure that whatever is gonna come out has the best chance of survival.
Right.
Like the whole, oh, if they don't make it, they don't make it. It's like, yeah, that's true, but at the same time, it's like you're the reason they're there in the first place. You know, you need to make sure they all have sort of the same chance.
But there's a difference between like organ not being developed and it dying, and then you doing something wrong full term, right? That there's a huge difference between that.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I also think about this too. Obviously, it wouldn't apply to most snakes, but like stuff that beehives. You ever notice like the people that breed alligators or the people that breed tegus, they rub the egg?
Yeah.
Do you ever wonder if,
I did that with cressids.
Okay, so there you go. So do you ever wonder if stuff at beehives, if mom maybe does that? Like, has anyone observed that? Like, mom knows, okay, it's been this much time, or she can feel them vibrating inside the egg because she's, you know, MI, and she kind of does her thing, and that's like us rubbing it.
Maybe.
I've thought about that.
It's plausible.
Yeah.
I mean, because if you think about it, I mean, like rainbow boas, I know they don't beehive, but they do, you know, they do help the young out of the sac if necessary. And
yeah.
I don't know. I want to try MI at some point too. I just don't know when it's going to.
Yeah, that's honestly the goal with the IJs I have. I want to let one of them just go full term beehive in time.
Ooh, my IJ female shed. She was looking real good today.
Cool. I started listening to the Poplin Roundtable.
Yeah, I listened to that over the course of like 3 days.
Yeah, man. I'm just happy they're eating. I was talking to Billy about it yesterday. Just like, they eat little food, but they're eating. That's it.
As long as something's in them.
As long as something's in them, right. So any more, any word from people and going to Daytona? Has anyone been like, hey, I heard it's still on. I'm going to go.
Not that I know of.
I have a bunch of Florida friends that are going to make like the day trip on the Saturday. So that'll be cool. Even if you see them for like a hot minute, you know? I know Dom's super excited because Alex from Kingtopia will be driving up on the Saturday. So I don't know if she's going to bring a pink with her. I don't imagine she will, but that'll still be cool. It'll be nice to see her. I know Dom's dying to meet her. So.
I do think it's still like up in the air. Like I would not be surprised if the state of Florida was like, no gatherings.
Well, here's the thing. I imagine it. I don't imagine that being the case. Obviously, everyone's going to have a mask. I also think I have a very strong feeling that the convention center is going to ration the amount of people at one time, which kind of makes me afraid because you've seen the line to get in Daytona. Imagine only letting in like 50 people at a time. That would suck.
And then saying, okay, you got to be out of here in
but because like that's
2 hours.
Yeah, you can't enforce that necessarily. You know what I mean? I mean, there's no way to do it properly. So I'm wondering if like it's just gonna be like for every time someone leaves, someone can go in. You know, I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna go, but I've heard rumors of thoughts of that.
So Bill said, do you think maybe you're passing weak genes on if the snake can't cut the egg? And/or do you guys look and see if snakes have egg teeth for those folks who always cut, like you always cut them one?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I can see where that weak gene thing would be a valid concern, but I mean, with my first chondro clutch, getting all of them to eat first was tough. I had, the one that was the run to the litter eventually caught up to the rest of them in fairly quick fashion once they were on food and they're rock solid. But I don't know. Like to me, the answer to that whole debate is there's no right answer. If you're someone who just says if it happens, it happens, or if you're one of those people that says I'm going to cut them all and hope it works out. And whatever. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer.
Yeah, I would concur. I've never cut eggs that weren't long past their due date. Like I know the animal's dead in there, or I know that it was not developed, and then I cut it. And I've yet to have a baby be like, "Oh my God, thank you! It was like a week too long." No, that there was nothing in there. You know what I mean? Or it was all mutilated and not going to be born, so to speak.
Well, I had a good handful of that first clutch that were also full term and dead. Like never came out.
Damn.
And that was a pretty big bummer. I mean, it was probably a third of that clutch.
Yeah.
All completely full term. They never came out. So.
Damn. I think about like how many times I had like accidental clutches, or like when I had those Malayan pit vipers and like I bookshelved the eggs like cut like crested geckos. Dude, that was the greatest thing. I had two large delis, 2 clutches, and I went in and I caught something moving out of the corner of my eye, and I look and I'm holding the deli cup and I'm like, oh my God, they're all out! Oh my God! And like I opened the lid real carefully with hemostats, and they're all just sitting there with their noses up, like, come on,
I'll kill you.
Come on, step on me, see what happens.
I'll kill your family.
But then I went and checked the other ones, and they hadn't even started pipping yet. So that I just left it, and in that clutch, I remember there was 2 eggs that never came out. And I left them be, and then after like 10 days, I cut into them, and it was just yuck on the inside. It wasn't even. So they were just.
Well, also that's also if you notice eggs are bad, like it ain't over till it's over.
Yeah.
Like unless they look like they're literally like if they're like seeping albumin or something.
Yeah.
I'm not getting rid of them. Like until I notice they are dead. Like they are not hatching. Like there's nothing in it. It didn't work. Because I've seen worse eggs than what I have in the incubator right now hatch. Not personally, but I've heard stories and seen pictures of it. And eggs that if you saw that in your incubator, you'd be like, there's no way anything's coming out of that. Yeah. And then people find babies all sitting on top of it, so.
Yeah.
But Trey, I am not going to the show this weekend because I am working. I I don't keep any rainbows. I've had one rainbow bow in my life. I didn't trust it.
I had a few, man, and I love them, but they're not anymore. I mean, I have the tattoo on my leg, man. I love rainbows, but I don't know. I could just admire them. I just stare at Riley's.
And Bill, I will also say I don't cut eggs to see what's inside, like a lot of ball and retic guys seem to do.
Yeah, and like leave it, like leave a little flap.
Like cut it like halfway open and then be like, oh yeah, I got this, and that clutch. It's like you couldn't have just waited until they all hatched. Like,
yeah, isn't that half the surprise too? You know,
you had to know like 4 days in advance.
Yeah,
just for you to sit there and wait for them to come out anyways. I never really understood. Like if you did a punnet square, I think a lot of those guys already know what to expect. It's like, why do you feel the need to cut them open and see? Like, I don't know. I guess that's a morph thing. I'm not too hip to it. I cut open chondro eggs just because I want them all to survive. Because chondros are dumb. I've said it once, I'll say it 1,000 times. Chondros are dumb snakes. They are not smart. They will literally grab and wrap their food and then fall in the water bowl and drown.
And yes, Cox, you are correct.
Whatever any of that means.
Right? I'm just thinking about rainbow bows, man.
Bill said, fully developed in the egg but dead is especially weird. If they develop to that point physically, then there should be no reason for them to not come out. Do they drown? Yeah, they do drown. They basically, what happens is like they try to cut, either the egg tooth isn't, it falls off prematurely. They cut it. They don't poke their head out and get that air. And I actually had a few where I could tell, like I could see where they had tried to cut the egg. Like you could see the lines, because you can tell a cut from just like the stretch marks that eggs get. You can see where they and that's when I was like, oh, I need to cut, because clearly they tried, which is even more heartbreaking to me, because it's like they did attempt to. It's not like they didn't try. It's just they couldn't, So, but yeah, they more or less just drown in the albumin, and it sucks. And it actually, there was some that I cut the egg, and even then they didn't come out. They don't, like, there's this in egg development, I should say, not production, but there's this point in time where they're not relying on like the oxygen that comes in through the eggshell and into the circulatory system isn't enough to sustain it, and so that's when they pip and they hatch. But the problem with that is if they don't cut and they don't pop their head out, they don't get that oxygen, and so then what the veinage and stuff that the egg provides isn't enough for them to survive on. So they end up drowning, more or less, or suffocating, I guess. That's something I want to read more on, just egg development and how that whole, like there's just, like I said, there's just this transitional period where like they switch from the oxygen that is provided via the egg to like breathing air. And when they hit that switch, that's when they come out and breathe. That's one of the triggers, is they all of a sudden need oxygen. It's time. They cut, they pop out, they breathe. Some of them will go back in the egg. But what Harlan Wall had told me too is, you cut the egg, squeeze out some of the albumin, that clear liquid, the clear fluid, squeeze some of that out, take like a small toothpick or something and basically like undent the egg, get a little air bubble in there so that, when they do come up, they don't have to go all the way out. They can just the bare minimum movement will help them get to the surface, so to speak.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm all over that. I'm super tired. I'm like all over the place. But
okay. That makes sense.
Green trees are morons, yes. I agree. The dumbest. My pair has ceased copulating.
How about the Boiga?
I've had them separated for the last couple of days.
Okay.
Males in shed, Female is her usual spazzy self.
Do they show any kind of ovulation signs or not?
Well, I was listening to my buddy Matt. He and his friend just started a new podcast or live stream called Preaching Pythons, which the first episode just dropped last night, actually, and I watched that today while I was cleaning cages. And he was talking about how Boyga, because he's the guy that had his nigroceps laid a small clutch of 4.
Nice.
He was saying how Boyga, you can't really tell until like 2 weeks before they're going to lay that there's any sort of signs of eggs. Like I guess he said they don't swell as much in their long eggs. I mean, they're long, thin snakes, so obviously they have long, thin eggs.
Right.
And he was saying that it's not nearly as obvious in those as it is other colubrids and stuff, which doesn't surprise me. But then I think he also said the incubation period was something crazy, like over like 100 days or something.
I believe it.
Like 140, maybe at a lower. I think he was saying he was incubating his at like 82, slightly cooler than kind of what you'd expect. I was told 84 by Terry Burwell, so that's probably what I'll end up rolling with. And I don't know what the incubation time is. I should probably look that up.
Yeah, you don't want to get hands down.
Probably handy information.
Right.
The Boyga Zone.
The Boyga Zone.
So it's a website.
Henry, do you need a dog-tooth cat snake? Do you need a dog-tooth cat snake that's actually really chill, almost 6 feet long, and eats almost anything you put in the cage? I really like the animal, but I just can't take it home.
Dude, send me a dog-tooth cat snake. I'll take it. I don't care how mean it is.
It's not mean at all. It's like super chill.
Oh.
Like bad chill. Like one day it's gonna get you.
It's very easily circumvented if you just don't trust them in the first place.
Of course, absolutely, of course. I'm not gonna sit there and watch TV with the fucking thing. Oh man.
Cox said, "Has anyone seen weird colored egg liquid? Retic guys often talk about how the marble gene creates green fluid, like guys can tell when they first cut an egg." Other than eggs that are bad, where it's just milky looking albumin and not clear, like clearly there's no life in there. That's the extent of it. And then Bill asked, "Any info on egg-laying snakes assisting with hatching?" And I don't believe there is. See, Cynodon are just so cool, man, because they get so damn, like, they're thin as rails, but they're freaking long.
Yeah.
I'm so I'm so pumped for these freaking Jansenite, dude. Like,
oh yeah.
I got another picture today of a female.
Nice. Well, hold it because I'm gonna go get a top off on my beverage.
I'm gonna show everybody. You're not gonna see it. You're gonna miss it.
You better keep it up. Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
Better not. That's cool. Just don't rotate the picture. These are legitimately going to be a challenge, and I'm actually kind of excited about it. Like these, I feel. Did you guys see that? Freaking mothers just tried to take me away. What was that? Whatever it was freaking huge. Yeah, dude, I'm getting a pair of Jansenite. I'll show you. Yeah, he did. There was a giant. Yeah, dude, it was like a freaking tennis ball. It's a night creature. Phil, you missed it. Like you left and it summoned some sort of demonic night being.
What? What did I miss?
Never mind.
No, now
Doesn't matter.
Now
it was like a giant bug, dude.
On my screen or yours?
Oh, there it is. What is this?
Apparently on yours.
Oh, you get a container. Oh Holy shit. Ah!
What is going on?
I don't know. What is this? It keeps flying on me. Oh. It's a giant, it's like a beetle. He's very confused.
I can rewatch it, Jeff. I'm going to rewatch it. As soon as it's over and it goes posted, I'm fast forwarding to 1 minute and 30.
You caught me off guard, all right? I heard what sounded like a helicopter flying next to me, and I like saw it. I went, ah! And then I smacked it, and you could hear me smack it onto the bookshelf.
I'm upset.
Jeff should have pimp-handed it.
Foot screen. All right, so let's see these Ganyasoma.
Oh, I already showed everybody. I told you. If you leave, you don't get to see it.
How about you screen share it like a grown-up?
It's on my phone. It's not. It's in the. You bring it up in the. It's in the group chat.
I can't do that. Text it to me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it won't let me open the Instagram thing.
Whatever.
Unlike some other co-hosts of the show, I don't play on my phone while we're live. Just saying. Nice, Dan. Nice.
I'm a castrato.
Castrato. Good.
Yeah, dude, these Jance and I are just... I'm excited. I'm a little nervous just for not screwing it up.
You'll be all right.
I'm sure I'll be all right.
Bro,
it's the anticipation is worse.
Of course. They're Ganyasoma. They're not Bolans. You'll be fine.
I feel like Ganyasoma are probably actually more difficult than Bolans.
Maybe. These are Captain.
Oh, dude!
What?
Looky. Amazing how much the female is swollen during coitus. Exactly like my female was. Look at that. Looky. Look.
Yeah.
That's the exact same thing that was going on with my Cyanea.
I told you.
Shit.
I told you your male is just well endowed. I told you.
I'll bet you that's Bill Hughes that posted that too. He used to be a big boy guy, I think. I was losing my damn mind. So anyone who was here last episode, I was talking about how my Cyanea got this weird impaction-looking swelling while they were getting it on, and so I freaked out and separated them. And then by the time I went to go check on her after I'd gotten everything settled and put back where it wanted to be, because it was a whole fiasco, that swelling was gone. And so then the next night I put the male back in, and they were locked up, and the swelling came again. And it's this swelling right here. Like, tell me if you saw that in any snake, you'd be like, that snake's impacted as shit.
I'm finding the picture you sent me and Nicola.
Oh my God. This is life-changing. I'm so glad it's not just me. I feel like Bill Hughes is the only one that posted on here. Man. That blows my mind.
All right, here.
There's still Boiga species that I never have even heard of that I'm seeing on different posts and stuff.
Here's the pictures of your snakes.
Yes.
So that's obviously the vent right there. There's your swelling, right?
Yeah.
So then we also have this photo. That's an even better one. That's the one that legit looks like impaction.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, man, it's just your boy's well endowed, man.
He's not, dude. You know what's funny too about these guys is they're so thin. Like when you're handling the male, if you hold your fingers and like let his body slide between you can feel the hemipenes as you get to the end. Like they're that thin, you can literally feel them.
Yeah.
My mind is blown right now.
Well, are you gonna show the freaking? Did you send me the thing?
I did send them to you.
Oh, sorry, my phone's on silent.
Jesus.
Whoopsie daisy. Oh my God, is that? Oh my God, bro. That is not what I expected at all. That is
What were you expecting?
phenomenal. Look at this specimen of a creature, everyone.
Silver fox. And you know, I like the ones that have a lot of black a little more, but I think it's also kind of cool to have one that's like the other way where it's like minimal black.
Dude, I was expecting an olive snake with a black ass.
No. They're like white and vanilla.
Because remember, Underground had those imports, and they were like a grayish.
Well, when they're young, they come out of the egg green.
Okay, well these were like grayish slate, but from like the back third all the way to the tail tip was jet black, almost like a black tail tip.
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped about it.
It's gonna be awesome.
And Billy actually sent me a link to a website where it's literally the entire website is just a giant care sheet on Gonyosoma, like those and like 2 of the other species that are popular.
Oh, nice.
So that was a huge help. I read like the entire website.
Cool.
Like half a day, I was reading everything I could.
Very cool.
Oh man. Let's see. Incubation. $100 days. Definitely cited as one. No, this is Cyanea. I'm reading a post from 2007.
Cox. Sucks that ain't Apples though. I'm gonna find some soda.
When I used to use moss in mine, good hatch rate. Eggs were buried in the moss and then left alone. The dry moss was pre-soaked for 20 minutes in warm water. Incubator set us 82. Huh. Yeah. You never sent me pictures of your spawns, Phil. I'm kind of upset. I was really waiting for them.
I know. I didn't feel like waking them up.
When are you gonna get initiated?
Like this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. When's that picture from?
2009.
Oh my God. It was so long ago. Oh my God.
When you were but a boy.
I was but a wee lad. How about that one?
Oh, yeah. That thing probably died.
That was... No, man. I had that thing alive for like 7-8 months. I was feeding it live green tree frogs, and then I was sick of doing it, so I sold it. And that was the best photo. That was the best photo I could get because it would not sit still. You know, you open the cage to take a picture of it perched up, and it would just move. So.
See, this is the Jansen I'm talking about. Like high black. Just
what?
Looks like it got dropped in tar.
What is that? Where does that come from?
Well, from what I understand, there's like 2 varieties. So there's like the Sulawesi, and then there's another variety that does have a lot more black to it, but I don't remember what the difference was, like where the other ones came from, like another island or something. But
it doesn't say what that is. Is that Sulawesi?
It just says black-tailed. But I mean, look at the back half, dude. Just pitch black.
Look at the dorsal. It literally looks like you said, like someone took black shoe polish and just dipped it in shoe polish.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
But it's neat because they start out green like this. Like their color change is very bizarre. They come out of the egg looking like this and then change.
Yeah. It's like almost green mamba-ish.
Yeah, like if you mixed a mamba and a pine snake together.
Yeah.
Oh, did you ever see these? Oniophis marginatus.
Oh, of course.
Marginitatis.
Of course.
Those things are pretty sick looking, dude.
Absolutely breathtaking. That Henry wants them.
So bizarre.
I'm like, Henry, you want that cobra food? He goes, yeah, that's not cobra food. That's a work of art. Look at that thing. Look at that thing. Crazy. Crazy.
This is the kind of stuff people need to be into more, man. Like, people probably don't even know that these exist.
I know. You're right. You're totally right.
And it's just like that stupid meme I made the other day where it was like a kid drowning, and it was like, I don't even think I sent it to you.
No.
It's pretty good. But it was like a kid drowning and the mom's like swimming, and then there's another, she's paying attention to another little kid, and like the kid drowning out of like obscure species that
Right.
no one bothered with, that disappeared from the hobby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know what? Come to think of it, I think you did send that to me. Now, I just found this because I'm on Facebook, and I never go on Facebook ever, but I just found this. Oh, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. I think you did send it to me. How about this? I'm so happy.
People do that, man. Like, people don't pay attention to something, and then when it's gone from the hobby, everyone's like, what happened? Where did those go? No one's working with them anymore. It's like no one cared about it. That's why.
Yeah. This is back
when those little guys.
This is back when cell phones were horrible. So, and then there's this one.
Well, you were rocking that Motorola Razr, weren't you?
Yeah. Look at that. Dude, I was so happy when I took that picture.
I forgot that those even laid eggs.
I know, right? It's awesome animals, man. Awesome.
Little landmines.
Dude, that's it, man. Little dead leaf landmines.
Those things are gnarly, man.
I love them. And dude, they're such good snakes, man. They really
bites from those things are gnarly.
I know, but like, dude, if they weren't venomous, man, they would be bigger than hognose. They're just such awesome animals.
You ever keep any Porthidium?
I had one once.
That's a genus that I've always been very interested in. Like, if I was keeping venomous, that's probably one that I'd be into.
Oh, got rid of it.
Why?
I didn't like it.
Just a pain in the ass?
No, it wasn't even a pain in the ass. It was just like, it just didn't do anything for me. It was like micro Bothrops that I don't want to be insulting to the species, but it didn't have any personality. It just didn't do it.
You're boring.
Yeah, and like that and Numifer. Like, dude, Joe gave me some Numifer once, and we sat there for like an hour trying to get them to jump. And they literally would just sit there and
chew.
You know, I'm like, all right, you're a fat Mexican copperhead. Why did I? Sorry, not to insult copperheads. I like copperheads. Actually, I like copperheads more than I like Numifer. Just saying.
I don't know. Porthidium always just looked like a cool group.
Yeah, I mean, they're cool, but I would rather have the roadies.
You're like Bothrops' sexy cousin that comes around only once with its buddy for Christmas, that you wish you saw more of, but it's so mysterious you want to know more.
Yeah. It's like that one guy, it's like, yeah, man, my wife was an ex-Hawaiian Tropic girl. It was like, okay. And all of a sudden, that one Christmas party, he shows up and
Porthidium.
Yep.
That blue and yellow thing was a snake.
That blue and yellow thing is a goddamn work of art.
It's a Goniophis margitatus margarita.
Yeah, because it's not Gonyosoma, it's Goniophis.
No, I guess it's like Gonyosoma light.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, because there is
Margaritas.
that's margaritas.
That's the Patias.
Oh, it's Matthias. Okay.
It's Patias. Like Mar. Let me look it up. But those are pretty sweet looking too. Those are freaking cool.
Yeah, but they don't look nearly as nice as the other one.
I could spell. Oh no, it's Patias Nigro Marginata. That's the green ones with the black racing stripes down the last like third.
Okay.
They're pretty dope. Also, one you don't see often for sale. But, I mean, take a gander at these sexy beings.
Wow, that's really good.
Right? That. These are pretty cool.
It's like a beak snake and a love child with a flying snake.
Yeah, kind of. I just love the obscure stuff, man. It doesn't get enough love. It's like some of the coolest looking snakes in the world.
Yeah.
Dude, that's all racer though. I mean, look at that. Like, you can't tell me that millennia ago, those and racers were hand in hand.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Dude, I'm going through pictures from Daytona in 2010. It's phenomenal.
Well, let's see it.
I'm disappointed that I didn't take price tag pictures. But like, here's me with some friends. Hold on, screen share.
You had friends?
Yeah, and it's weird. All right, so this couple, I don't even care that I'm showing their picture. This couple.
What is the hat?
What's that?
What's that hat?
I think is it a Beretta hat? Yeah, it's a Beretta hat. So that's Babyville. That was 10 years ago. And so this couple, this is actually his girlfriend or fiance or whatever the hell they were back then. But his name was Mike. And he lived in Washington State. And weird story. I was working at Strictly. And
he looks like Whitey from Me, Myself, and Irene.
Right? And I was working at Strictly, and he called up to ask some venomous questions. And him and I got to talking, and like before I knew it, like I was talking to you for like an hour on the phone. And we just hit it off, man. We became basically like pen pals with snakes. And he bought some stuff from a couple other breeders down here and whatever else. But the dude vanished off the face of the planet. And then like a year later hits me up. He's like, hey, man, I want to meet you in person. I want to go to Daytona. And to be honest, I thought he was undercover fishing wildlife because he asked the weirdest questions. And then now all of a sudden he wants to meet me in Daytona. I'm like, oh,
it's true. No,
he was just a weird dude. But we met this one time. We had a great freaking weekend of all of our friends hanging out and stuff. And I never heard from the guy ever again. He called me like 9 months ago. And he's like, oh, man, this happened, that happened. So I didn't talk to the guy for like 10 years. And he just called me, and I lost his number again. So now I can't even call him. So hopefully, look at these people. Is that Katie? Oh, my God, it's Katie. Oh, my God. These people are going to get so mad that I put these pictures up here. Oh, my God. These pictures are horrible. Poor people.
I'm almost afraid for you to keep going.
Look at that animal. It's a hell of an animal. There you go. That's the winner.
6,500 for a hormonal blue Aru.
Yup.
Well, actually, were probably very disappointed when they bred that, and one of those babies were blue.
I think it was that hormonal because he had pictures of it throughout the year with like the date of when the picture was taken. Like you know, old cameras used to leave the date at the bottom of the screen. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He had pictures of it doing its thing.
I'd be curious to see how old it was and how many times it had been bred, because
Right.
that's something that takes a while to happen. It's not something that just shows up and goes away.
Yeah.
So
Look at that.
Nice mixed carpets.
Right? Diamond Jungle. There you go. That's
Diamond.
the Diamond. Yeah. More of these people.
Dude, they like asked you to take a picture of everything. Look at Eden.
Yeah, look at Eaton. Look at Chris. There you go. There's some other people. Underground people. The owner of Underground being really weird. Look at those tubs. Look at those little plastic mason jars. Look at them. That's how we used to do it.
That's how Trooper Walsh used to do it, man.
Yeah. That was Daytona, man. Crazy times, man. Crazy times.
I'm so stoked. It'll be here before we know it.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm stoked.
Yeah, Billy Hunt's been getting into Matthias a little bit because he's a glutton for punishment. He loves those big, fast colubrids that you have no control over once that door's open.
See, dude, I'm like,
He loves that shit.
no, but I'm sorry.
Why do you punish yourself?
It's not like that. They're not tight hands. Like, they're not that volatile. You
Ask Billy about his radiateds. He'll tell you what it is.
His radiators fly out.
Yeah.
We should
he lost
one right now.
He lost one and he never got it back.
Really?
I think. Yeah. He's like, dude, like when they want to go, they go. They're gone. Like, poof. Fucking Houdini. You know what's weird too about like the Cyanea, right? It's like when they move, and I don't know if it's because they're like more of a matte color than like a gloss. Like when it moves, they almost like it's like an illusion.
You mentioned that. You mentioned
Like
that before.
when they want to go, you can tell they're moving, but you can't. I don't know how to explain it. I always, every time they start trying to take off, I end up staring.
They do this.
Like,
they don't go like that, right? They don't move like a snake. They do this.
Right.
Like there's
It's
like
just bizarre because of the color
moving, but they're just levitating.
Yeah. Yeah. They just like float.
Yeah.
It's like, what is going on?
Yeah.
I was cleaning something earlier. And, it was one of the corns, one of those wild corns. Decided to try and like make a run for it. But they weren't fast enough. I got those Spider-Man reflexes.
Mongoose. Ricky, ticky, tabby, motherfuckers.
But I believe it is bedtime.
I was just about to say that.
I have
Mongoose references.
my significant other texting me saying be done. So,
well, it's you have like 58 seconds for 2 hours.
moment of silence for Billy's radiated resin.
Burn. All right.
We'll see y'all later.
Deuces.
Bye.